So are you ready for the shenanigans with the Aquabats?
Look, I have done what, like 8 to 10 podcasts with you now. This was the hardest
Like
top three.
three? This is our
Yeah.
third one together.
Yeah.
We did Panic and we did the Offspring, but it feels like eight. I'll give you that. It does feel like eight. So
Yeah. But this,
we got more to do. So
this was my hardest top three by far.
was it really?
Hmm.
I gotta be honest, it was just number three I was having a problem with, and that's it. Like my top two were easy, but
Uh,
we'll get more into it like
yeah.
when we actually talk about it. But this was like these next 2 weeks, this week and next week, because
Mhm.
this week is Aquabats, next week is Big D and the Kids Table. These are
Oh.
two bands that, while I enjoyed some of their songs, I never fully fell into them. So this was an interesting dive into their uh full like discography. So
Nice.
it was interesting.
Uh,
I'll give you that.
oh
So,
man, Big D, that'll be a good show. I got kicked out of a Big
oh,
D and kids table show one time.
did you really?
Yeah.
I saw them last year at Supernova. And that was like my first live experience with Big D and the Kids Table. So they're phenomenal. They really are. So
I
I
never
got,
actually got to see him. I was gone
oh
before they
really?
came on. Basically, I
So
would.
okay. Okay, quick story. When I was 19, I was either 19 or I was 20. Uh, it was for my friend's 21st birthday. We were going to see Story of the Year, Motion City soundtrack, and there were like two other bands that played. So I was on like the outskirts of the pit, and this was during Motion City soundtrack. Story of the Year was headlining, and some girl grabbed me by the arm. This was like, I don't mean to be mean or rude, but this was a big girl. Uh, she grabbed my arm and like dragged me into the pit and kind of threw me around. I was trying to get my arm loose, so I like wrenched my arm back, and before I could do anything, like even like move, I was like put in a full Nelson and dragged out of the pit. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Get that
Oh my
fuck off
gosh.
me. It was a bouncer. He was
Oh my
throwing me
gosh.
out because he said I was gonna hit that girl. I was like, no, I wasn't. She took me into the pit. I wanted nothing to do with this. So I started yelling at the bouncers and everything, and apparently they had called the cops. So
Yeah.
this homeless guy came out of nowhere, like grabbed my arm, was like, dude, go. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Because he just wanted me to just kind of not get arrested.
Yeah.
So,
And not have the
but
cops around.
exactly. So I got a very nice conversation with that man. And then I found out about an hour later, I got a call from my friend, two of my friends who I went to the show with. The one who was it was her 21st birthday, and she had been kicked out of the show for being too drunk. So none of us saw Story of the Year. We all just kind of regrouped at the car and drove back to Newport News. And that was the end of our night. Well, no, it wasn't. We had a party at the house, but then that was, and that's our B roll for the week. And welcome back to First, Last, and Best. Once again, we are on the road to Supernova, all part of our Summer of Ska series, and we are talking about the Aquabats tonight. I am so stoked for this episode, but before we get into it, let's talk about the socials. We're over on TikTok, we're over on Facebook, we're over on Instagram. First, Last, and Best Podcast is where you can find us. You can find our reels, behind the scenes stuff over on TikTok, our vinyl collection over on Instagram, and you can find our song of the day over on Facebook. Any information you need. If when our episodes are going to be coming out, usually on Mondays. Um, Pretty much anything and everything you need to know about the show, you can find on any of those platforms. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, share, subscribe, the usual mess. But yeah, that's going to be it. Obviously, we're on Apple Podcasts, Google, or Apple Podcast, Spotify. We're on YouTube. So anywhere you can find us on a podcast, we're there. go ahead and give us a listen. Go listen to some of our past episodes that we've done here in Summer of Ska. We've covered Less Than Jake so far, the Toasters, Five Iron Frenzy. We got the Aquabats this week. We got Big D and the Kids Table next week. It's a whole lot of ska for the next several weeks before we get back into, non-ska related bands, which my wife is very annoyed about because Good Charlotte just put out a new record and she wants to do her episode. But I told her it won't be until like later September before we get to it, and she was not happy about that. Anyways, moving on with the episode. Once again, we have Brian with us this week. He The Aquabats was actually an episode we were going to do um, your last appearance before we
Mhm.
did Panic at the Disco. But then we decided to put Aquabats into the Summer of Ska. I forced myself to listen to Panic at the Disco. No, I have not listened to that out record yet. I'm
I know you
sorry.
haven't.
I
I know you haven't.
I blame it on the fact that I've been diving so hard into ska music right now that I have not had time. I'm completely lying because I've been listening to other stuff too. Uh, that I just haven't had a whole lot of time to listen to anything else other than being prepared for obviously this week, next week for Big D, Real Big Fish the week after, and also our surprise episode. We're doing a small roundtable episode later on, the week before Supernova, or actually week of Supernova is when it's going to come out. Bands you should know in the scene. I am so stoked for that one because we're going to be talking about some bigger names, some smaller names, some bands that you absolutely 100% should know. And we will get to that in a few weeks. But for now, we are going to be talking about the Aquabats tonight. But first and foremost, Brian, what have you been listening to lately other than the Aquabats?
Well, lately, this week, when my kid had no school and I was driving her everywhere, I've just been listening to whatever DVD she has on in the van.
Sounds about
But
right.
on my own time, I've been practicing for the upcoming Bowling for Soup show and
Is
listening to
that
some
Bowling
of
for
them.
Soup, Simple Plan?
And 303.
Oh my God.
You remember
Okay.
303 and their
I
one
remember
song?
303. That was
Yeah.
that's a band.
Yeah, that is a band.
That is a band. I
Yeah.
never really got too hard into 303.
Yeah, nobody did. They had the one song
They
and
had
that
the
was
one
it.
song and that was it. And
Yeah,
it was
I
like
don't.
them and Hollywood Undead, I think was
Yeah.
the other band that was like big at the time. Them and I think Scary Kids Scaring Kids. And I
Oh
was
man, I
just
forgot about them.
yeah, I never fell too hard into them. It's just kind of like they were there. Like
Yeah.
I was in a band with a guy who was big into like 303 and like those types of bands. And I was just like, I'm in the wrong band right now. This is not working out. So obviously I've been listening. Good Charlotte just dropped their new record, Motel Decap. If you
Right.
haven't gotten a chance, if you are a fan of Good
Right.
Charlotte or pop punk in general, this is very reminiscent of old Good Charlotte. I will not give a full rundown of it just because my wife and I will be doing a Good Charlotte episode coming out in late September. So be on the lookout for that. And we will be doing, trust me, my wife is like stoked for this episode. She's been listening to that record nonstop. I think the only time she stopped listening to it was when Taylor Swift announced that she was going to put out a new record. And she listened to Taylor for like an hour and then she went back to Good Charlotte. So, yeah.
I had no idea Good Charlotte was putting out new music. That's
Dude,
baffling.
it very much is almost like a career retrospective in my opinion. Like it feels like every song has kind of like touched on a variation of who they were at some point. Like there was like some stuff that feels like it's from Good Morning Revival. There's some stuff that feels like it's from The Young and the Hopeless. Like it's a very interesting record. It's, in my opinion,
Hmm.
very good. And once again, I'll be going into full detail later in the end of September when Caitlin will be coming on the episode because she'll get mad at me if I do a full retrospective now. Uh, but I've been listening to that, listening to some Descendants.
Nice.
Uh, what else? I'm actually I've got two records coming in this week, hopefully soon. Uh, Kill Lincoln's new one and Call Me Malcolm's latest as well. But I think those have been out for a while now. But I found them on sale, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get those. Caitlin doesn't know that yet. She'll find out soon. So, So we've talked about what we have been listening to, but we've definitely been listening to our band of the week, and I've mentioned their name
Hmm.
multiple times at this point. Because usually the last several weeks I've just been like trying to hide and make it a surprise. And then the other day I was like, you know what? I'm done redacting. This is who we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Aquabats. And this has definitely been like one of those ska bands that has been around for what feels like forever in the day. I don't remember when Return of the Aquabats came out initially. I'm actually looking that up right now. It was in 95. So it was in that
Wow.
mid 90s third wave ska kind of less than Jake, Real Big Fish kind of era. So it really
Hmm.
kind of they definitely have the feel of one of those bands that is very much that third wave, very poppy, uh kind of goofy, I guess. Like
Kinda.
that's kind of goofy. Okay,
Their whole
a
thing
little
is being
bit.
goofy.
Yeah, it's a good point. I've never seen them live, so I'm actually really excited because they're coming to Virginia Beach in a few weeks. And they're doing a free show. I don't I think it's on the 31st Street stage, if I remember right. And
Mhm.
I plan on going. My wife does not want to go see the Aquabats. We're going to go see Frank Turner the night before because he's doing that stage too. But he's doing Friday night, and then I'm gonna go meet up with Jeff from Sam's the Hero, who was on last week's episode. And I think his wife is going, and we're gonna go see the Aquabats. So I'm really excited for that. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a fantastic show. God, they're so good.
See, if I had went to Warp Tour like I was planning to, I would have seen them already, but I didn't because my wife had surgery, and I'm a good husband. Someone tell my wife that, please. But this is one of those bands that like I feel like I probably should have seen by now, but I haven't. But they definitely seem to put on a very ridiculous live show if
Hmm.
from all the
Absolutely.
videos and things I've seen. Um, but I'm assuming you've seen them live because you seem very, very
Uh,
shocked that I have not.
yeah. Well, yeah, I saw them when they did the Virginia Beach free show last year, and
Yeah.
I've
So you
I've
brought your
seen
daughter
them.
to that, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, she got to go up on stage too. She got
Did she
to
really? That's cool.
she got to dance next to Eagle Bones, who was her favorite Aquabat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Oh man, that's a core memory right there.
Oh, absolutely. And
God.
the Bat commander at one point came down from the stage, walking in front of the crowd, and scroggled her hair. Oh,
Oh, that's
she loved
awesome.
it. Loved it.
But yeah, dude, that's it. I'm really excited to see them live.
Oh,
So
it's
I,
going to be a great show.
yeah. Also, I have no hair now. So,
Well, Bat
so
commander won't scroggle that.
yeah, no, he probably won't. No, but I usually shave my head during the summertime to begin with. But I've so far up until today, I have resisted the urge. But now, like my hair was pissing me off, so I was like, you know what? Time to go bald again. So right towards, I almost made it through the whole summer, almost. Anyways, that was a little tangent I just went on. Go me. Yay. So let's talk about their first album, The Return of the Aquabats, which I still think is very funny that their first album is The Return of the Aquabats when this is like their first like
Their first. Yeah.
full-length release. So once again, like I said, this is very reminiscent of the third wave ska, like kind of goofball insanity kind of
Mhm.
version of ska, which I don't have a problem with. You
Oh, I
get a
love
lot
it.
of like traditional ska heads and people who like are very much into like the Toasters and English Beat Madness, the two-tone era kind of ska that don't really appreciate the more comic like goofball kind of ska bands, which I can also understand. Like if you actually
Yeah.
study and look into like the origins of ska music in general, I can see where they're coming from, where they feel like they're making a joke of something that they take very seriously.
Yeah. It's not a silly genre at its
No,
roots.
no, at
Yeah.
its roots, it's not. It's very heavily like influenced in politics and this is the way these people live their lives and what they're fighting for. And then you get bands like Real Big Fish and the Aquabats, where you're singing about Martian Girl from Planet Meat, or Real Big Fish with beer or their version of Take On Me. And this is the first time in like 2 weeks you've decided to start barking your head up at me. Didn't jump up. My dog.
Yeah.
This is
Uh,
fun.
Again, still
Maybe
can't
she
hear a
just
thing.
maybe she just knows that you're here. Because it seems like you and Tangle and Foster are the ones who bring Hattie out, and I would bring the cat out, but then these two would go like absolutely insane. Isn't that right, puppy dog? Hattie, say hi to people. Can you say hi to people?
Hey, puppy.
Say hi
Hey,
to
puppy.
people. Yeah, you're going to be famous. No, you're not. That's besides the point. Anyways, but I very much enjoy this like the third wave kind of goofball kind of ska music as much as I do enjoy like the two-tone like Madness and bands like that and the Toasters, Pie Tasters. It's just it's definitely what am I trying to say here? It's almost like an acquired taste. You have to
There's room
enjoy
for
the
both.
goofy. There's definitely room for both, but I can understand why some people feel that way. While
Yeah,
why they're
yeah.
not a huge fan of the goofballness, but we are not those people.
Oh, God, not at
Um,
all.
God, not at all. I very much enjoy the kind of goofball and just like the sheer like Ska Robot Army and Play-Doh and Martian Girl, all like great songs. And my son is awake and he's
Oh,
demanding things. Hold on, I'll be right back. We're
all right.
back. Uh, yay.
But
Uh, Most likely, we will be having some more little snafus and moments because now the fence is down. The cat and the dog are together again, and we'll see what the hell happens here on this
see what
episode of
happens.
First, Last, and Best. So what do you think of Return of the Aquabats? I mean,
It
obviously you were a fan of the
great,
Aquabats, so
great, great debut. What I love is that on their very first album, where they're a silly Mormon ska band, they threw on a song about scratching your balls with pinch and roll. Talk about
yep,
everyone knows the pinch and roll technique,
yep,
and that I have to admire that. And yet there's none of these that make my really made my top three, but they're all great fun songs. Like it's
that's
a
true.
really solid debut.
I really enjoyed it, and honestly, it was
Like,
just a solid record all around.
oh,
So
absolutely.
like if you enjoy this
Like
type of ska music, it's there's not a skippable song. You
yeah,
just
like
let it go and play.
Martian Girl ends up being one of their classics that
Yes.
always gets played.
Yes.
Idiot Box is fun.
Idiot Box is a fun song.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that.
Uh,
Marshmallow Man's another one. I like CD
mm,
Repo Man. That just
yeah.
seems like a really kind of wacky idea and thought, and it just like they make a song about it, and it was fantastic. So, like I said, there's really not as like it's not their best,
It
but
it
it
sets the
is
tone for them as a band.
it does, and it gives you a very good idea of who they are as a band.
Mhm.
And they really don't change that much. So, especially going from their first, so the way I usually do things when I'm studying up on a band for the show is
Mhm.
I'll listen to their first album, I'll listen to their last album, then I'll go back and go through the discography, which
Mm.
it's very much like we talked about in Panic at the Disco. It is very much a shock to the system when a band changes as drastically as Panic did. But when you go from listening to Return of the Aquabats to going and listening to Finally,
Yeah, it's
there is a change. There
mhm.
is because obviously Return of the Aquabats, like it's a ska album and it's very horn heavy, which most ska albums are. Um, but this finally felt very synth heavy.
Yeah, they lost a lot of ska
Yeah,
along the way.
like this felt more almost similar to Reggie and the Full Effect.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's honestly, I felt like that they felt leaned more into that synth style. While the horns are definitely there,
Mhm.
like but it's not used as often,
No,
which I
no.
felt like they lost quite a bit of themselves with. All right, hold
Yeah.
on again. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Sorry, folks. We're back. My animals are insane. I love them, but they're insane. Anyways, back to talking about finally. It's
I gotta say, it finally doesn't hit very much for me.
I liked it. It was good, but it doesn't quite have that kind of Aquabats signature. Like, yeah, it's goofy, but
It feels
not
forced.
quite this. It
It's
does.
forced goofiness.
So I just it was like I said, it was good. I like Let's
Yeah.
Go Live in a Cave. I thought that was kind of
Mm,
a ridiculous song, but once again, you're very heavy on the synth, not quite,
mhm,
that ska feel that they've had for years and years and years. And it's not quite what I was hoping for when
mhm.
I went from Return of the Aquabats to finally. Enjoyable. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely if you like that kind of synth-led kind of style, which, sometimes I do. Like Reggie and the Full Effect is one of those bands that James Deweese is freaking amazing. I loved him in To Get Up Kids, and I love him at Reggie and the Full
Mm,
Effect. But this just when you're expecting one thing and you get this, it
yeah.
feels almost disappointing in a way.
Yeah, it kind of is. And like you said, there's a couple decent songs. I really like Whatever Forever, the opening
That's a
track.
good song.
That's a fun one. Um,
Yeah, but it just wasn't quite the same,
no,
which
no.
is disappointing, but at the same time, enjoyable, slightly disappointing, but enjoyable nonetheless. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get yelled at by somebody on TikTok. I know this already, but I'll just accept it and move on. I respect your opinion. I just don't want to get yelled at. All right, so we did first, we did last. What do you think is their best album?
It Fury, their second album, Fury of the Aquabats,
I had a feeling you
by
were gonna say that.
by far. God, it's banger after banger after banger after banger.
I'll give you that. There's a lot on there. Obviously, Super Red. I mean,
Yeah.
that's their most well-known song. I do like Cat with Two Heads.
Mm,
Red Sweater is another one that's freaking phenomenal.
yeah.
Uh, Fury of the Aquabats
Can,
is great. It really is.
and and that's the one that had Travis Barker on drums.
Yes. That was before Blink-182 stole them and made him play drums for them.
Those monsters.
Yes, because if you read Mark Hoppus's book,
And
uh,
I just did. It was a great book.
such a great read. It really, I think I finished that in like 2 days. Like, I have a hard time
Yeah.
reading books, but that, like, books about musicians for one reason or another, I just like eat up.
Mm.
But so I read Mark Hoppus's book in like 2 days. That was such a good read. So, but like they were on tour together. Their drummer went home, and it was just like, "Hey, Travis, can you learn this real
Yeah,
quick?"
he learned everything in like an hour. God, it
Yeah,
was
and then the Aquabats were like, "Oh, we're gonna lose our drummer. Damn it!" But I will say, Fury of the Aquabats is top to bottom like a super solid album. Like easily top
yeah.
three for me. I will say that
This one didn't hit your number one.
this one did not get my number one.
Oh wow.
A part of me just wanted to be a slightly different, but at the same time, because I did get to listen to a lot of them, like Myths, Legends,
Mhm.
and Other Amazing Adventures was really good. I like the Aquabats versus the Floating Eye. Honestly, for me, Charge. I really,
Oh,
really liked it.
that was my first Aquabats album, and yeah, I okay, I'll give you that one. That's
Charge was
another one.
good. It was another one. It was like that album, like Fury of the Aquabats did it for me too. But this
Mm.
album, like I just put on, I let go, and it just like felt like one of those albums that just like it ended and you're like, wait, it's over? How did I listen to this whole album already? It's 13 songs, it's under 40 minutes, and yet for some strange reason I felt like 5 minutes had gone by. So it just Charge is
Yeah,
probably my favorite one. Fury of the Aquabats is
yeah.
a close second. because obviously you have Red Sweater, you have Super Rad on there, but there was something
Mhm.
about Charge that like Fashion Zombies, obviously great song. Nerd
Yeah.
Alert is another
Nerd
one.
Alert. Mechanical
Uh,
Ape is
Mechanical
so
Ape
fun,
is
so ridiculous.
Awesome Forces, Demolition Rickshaw.
Yeah.
S- Honestly, it's not a skippable track.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll get into because my favorite song by them is actually on this album. It's not Super Rad, but we
Mm.
will get into that in a couple of minutes. But I would have to, like, I will respect anyone that says that Fury of the Aquabats or Aquabats versus the Floating Eye, or I, I can respect any of those answers as far as what they think their best album is, and I can 100% understand it. But to me, Charge was their best album.
Yeah, that's how
So
I'm with Charge. I can't argue that at all.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's a
I
fantastic album.
respect everyone's opinion about the Aquabats and how they feel about them, one way or the other. We're open to these things here on First, Last, and Best. Please don't yell at us. Um, I say these things like I get yelled at a lot. I really don't. So that's besides the point. All right, so we've done first, we've done last, we've done best. This feels like a very short episode, but that's besides the point.
It,
Who cares? We're
that's
having
beside the
fun.
point. Yeah,
We're
we're
having
having
fun
fun.
here at First, Last, and Best. So let's get on to our top three. What is your
All right.
number three?
All right. So, first off, Aquabats is a band that needs to be experienced live.
Okay.
Like the songs, the albums are great to listen to, but it is a different beast altogether at the show. So my
I was gonna
favorites
say it
are
feels like
based,
this would
yeah,
translate a lot better like to a live show versus just putting it on and
yeah,
listening to studioed versions, you know? Of
yeah, because there's props,
course
there,
there is.
there's there's a whole lot going on.
It's
So
Guar, but much sillier.
I would love to see the Aquabats tour with Guar. That would
Oh
be
my God. That would be the stupidest, most ridiculous show of all time.
oh, the kids would be
I
so confused at the end.
They really would.
But
So,
so the
anyways, back to your number three, sir.
so my top three were songs that are great fun to listen to, but especially
Much
great
better live.
live. And so number three is Shark Fighter from High
Yes,
Five Soup. God, it's just so
that is a really good song.
silly. And what really helps, what adds to a lot of these songs is the Aquabat Super Show on it's on YouTube.
Is it? Okay.
And there was one that was a shark fighter where the shark fighter himself was played by Reese Darby. And it's so absurd.
Sounds like
Eh,
it.
But yeah, it's a really fun to
Shark
watch. I mean,
Fighter.
the the guy's love was eaten by a shark, so he's made it his mission in life to destroy every shark.
There you go. Fuck sharks. Sharks suck. Just kidding. I love sharks.
No,
Just
sharks
make
are
sure
great.
my
Sharks are great
sharks are
animals.
great. They are valued members of the ocean community. They serve a purposes. Purposes? Porpoises. Anyways, God, I can't talk most days. Anyways, my number three, I mean, there's a lot of really great songs and great ridiculous songs that they've had, but one that sticks out to me, and I'm trying to remember, I think it's on Myths, Legends, and Other Amazing Adventures, and because it just reminds me of back in school when you needed lunch, pizza day. I
Nice.
it's catchy, it's poppy, it's ridiculous, and it's wonderful. It really is. It's just a
It
wonderful
is,
kind
yeah.
of ridiculous song. And like there are songs out there like Lovers of Loving Love is one of my favorite songs and it's really good. Didn't make the
Mm.
top three. Like there's a bunch of songs like that out there. But if I had to choose one of those like really kind of ridiculous songs, it would be Pizza Day. It very
Mhm.
much takes me back to a more humble and easier time of life. So
I get it. It that Pizza Day is a great song,
it really is. So what's your number two?
which is why number two is Pizza Day.
All right. See, we're like on
Again,
the same page, sort
yeah.
of.
A- Again, it's a lot of fun. He goes like it's more than it's about more than just the lunch menu of the day. He
Yeah,
talks about he found his clique, his group of friends, got bullied a little until he found them, but
yeah.
everyone, no matter who, loved Pizza Day.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
Pizza Day. My son loves
And
Pizza
yeah.
Day.
And also live, this is where they pick a kid from the crowd to crowd surf on a giant inflatable pizza.
Oh, really? That's fantastic. I love that. All right, number two, and it's not overly shocking considering it is their biggest song of all time. It's Super Rad. It's just a fun song. I mean, but it's also that song that was like introduces you to the Aquabats. Because how many people,
Yeah.
like, I'm sure there are people out there who their first introduction to the Aquabats is probably something else completely different.
Mhm.
But to me, this was my introduction into the Aquabats, into the ridiculousness that is the Aquabats. So it has to be in my top three. It's not my favorite
Yeah.
song they've ever done, but it's very close. Super Rad is a
It-
phenomenal song, and it kicks off Fury of the Aquabats. That's one
yeah.
thing they do very well, is they have great opening tracks to their
Yeah.
albums. So it very much sets the tone and sets the vibe for what the album is going to be. And this one truly set the tone and set the vibe for Fury of
I
the
mean,
Aquabats. So
if you were going to introduce somebody to the Aquabats with one song, I think Super Red would be the one to choose.
yes, 100%. Okay,
Which
so
is why
yes, hold on. Sorry, I hate to cut you off, and I'm sorry, but I just wanted to do this one thing really quick before we introduce our
Mhm.
number ones, and that is earlier today. Today is the 13th of August. I posted and asked people what their favorite song by the Aquabats are. Only one person responded. Their handle is Savas, Savvas. If I mispronounced that, I apologize. But they said their favorite song is Chemical Bomb.
Oh man, that barely didn't make it. God, that would have been an honorable mention, maybe. I
Yes.
love Chemical Bomb.
Chemical Bomb is a great song. So we just want to shout out Savis. I can't pronounce
S-
things and I
Sa
apologize. But Savvas. So your
s-
favorite song is
Sa
Chemical Bomb, and we want to salute you
yeah.
and thank you for responding. And if you want to respond to any of our posts, who knows? Maybe we'll shout you out and throw your name out there because you responded. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming your favorite song is Super Red.
It's absolutely super rad.
All right.
Again, it was that was my introduction to them. If I was to introduce somebody new to the Aquabats, I would use Super Red. It's the entire band condensed into one song,
That's
I
true.
feel like. And it's just so much fun.
It is such a
Mhm.
great song. It really
Yeah.
is. I mean, if you're gonna, like you said, if you're gonna introduce the Aquabats to somebody, this is the song you show them because
Yeah.
this is like peak perfect Aquabats. So,
Absolutely.
although I will say my favorite song comes off of Charge, and
That's
that's
fair. That's fair.
Meltdown.
Oh God.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that song because it starts off hard and it just like it is a little different to their normal fare,
A
but it's
little, yeah.
just good. It is
Yeah.
so much fun. It is such a great song and it's very fast and it's just like
Mhm.
I love the guitar parts for it. It's so good. It's just I listened to that song probably about 5 times today because I truly wanted to maybe I don't want to say convince, but I wanted to be 100% sure Super Rad wasn't my favorite song. So I needed to listen to it just to make sure. And I was 100% after that. I was like, it's Meltdown. Meltdown is my favorite song they've ever done. It's so, so good. Um, I don't feel bad about that at all. Although I'm sure someone out there will say, hey, what are you talking about? That's okay. I respect your opinions. This is all about respect here in this episode of First, Last, and Best. As I stare at the
So
camera, like, please don't be mad at us. So,
so I've been told to give a shout out to Look at Me, I'm a Winner on Charge.
oh,
Because four
yes.
radios blasting classic rock is a great line.
It really is. Was that Laura?
I got you. Yep.
Thank you, Laura.
He says thanks.
Your opinion is appreciated and respected here on First, Last, and Best.
But
So
I was very glad to hear you say that somebody else brought up Chemical Bomb. I was gonna have that on my top three, but it's like, no, that's a little too weird. It's a little too off.
but
It's
it's still
like
Aquabats. It's so
such
good though.
such happy, calm, fun singing about, eyeballs melting and faces burning off.
Yes. Oh my God, for such like crazy ass content in the song,
It's so
it just it's
gentle.
so it's joyful about it. It's just like, yeah, all right. Hey guys, stuff is melting. Isn't that cool? All right, let's move on. Oh man. This
But
was
yeah,
a fun episode.
this
I really
was
did. I really did enjoy it. I really enjoyed like listening because like I said, like the Aquabats were one of those bands that I kind of slept on a little bit, and really diving into their discography, it was it was fucking interesting, I'll tell you that much.
this was
So,
by far my hardest top three I've ever
was it
had to
really?
think. There were so many more, like Chemical Bomb.
Was like,
Powdered Milkman is another
oh
great
yeah,
one.
there you go. Oh man, that was a
Oh,
really good
oh,
song.
Burger Rain. Burger Rain's fun.
Okay.
You
Does Laura have a top three?
have a quick top three Aquabat songs? Look at Me, I'm a Winner.
Okay.
Burger Rain.
Okay.
And what? Oh, it's Showtime. Oh, from the Super Show soundtrack. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It's
Thank you, Laura.
Showtime. Yeah.
We will throw that onto our top three list for
Oh,
on
good.
Friday.
Good. A
Yeah.
bonus top three. Hell yeah.
Bonus top three list. That's fantastic. Man, I didn't even plan that. Or just hanging out in the background, just like I got stuff to say too.
Oh, yeah. She's over there watching TV, just
Nice.
judging my podcast.
Nice, do it. Well, she wants, I think she commented on one of my posts that she wants to do an episode. I just don't remember who it was. I
Okay,
think it's
hold
like
on.
Blink 182 or something.
I've muted myself so she can't hear me right now. But I think if you try hard enough, she'll do Blink 182.
That doesn't shock me at all. I got a couple of people. I might just do a round. Like Blink 182 is like one of those bands that like I just need to do like a roundtable episode and have multiple people discussing Blink 182 because they've like truly been like one of those bands that like
Hmm.
inspired quite a lot of people. So it might be
Oh yeah,
they are too big of a band to just have one person, one other person
yeah.
other than me. I mean,
I,
uh like actually discussing their music because they are probably the biggest pop punk band other than
and
probably Green Day.
and you ask 100 people, you'll get 100 different top threes for them.
100%.
Hmm.
I know that for a fact. So, all right. Well, that was this week's episode with the Aquabats. Next week, we got Big D and the Kids Table with a brand new guest host. Um, so, yeah, tune in next week for Big D and the Kids Table. And then we have another brand new guest host the following week. We were talking about real big fish with a regular sized fish. And honestly, the one episode I'm truly looking forward to, and that's our roundtable discussions of bands you should know, which that might actually turn into a thing. Like I was discussing that with some people of actually like once every couple months doing like bands you should know. Like who have we like because TikTok alone has kind of opened up doors for people to discover bands that are quote unquote locals or smaller bands, but can reach out across their local area. Because there's so many out there, dude. There are like 4 or 5 bands I listen to right now that I found due to TikTok. So, so speaking of, we are over on TikTok at First, Last, and Best Podcast. We're over on Facebook and Instagram, First, Last, and Best Podcast. And I'm tired, so I'm going to go to bed. And you guys, thank you very much for coming on. Brian, once again, thank you for coming on. We're gonna have
Always
to
a
find
pleasure.
another band for you to come on and discuss after our Summer of Ska series. I'm sure we can come up with someone that you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, you said
Maybe.
you do Cobra Starship, didn't you?
Fuck no. I will do Frank Turner. Uh,
Oh, okay, that's tempting.
H2O.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, I know. H2O is one of those. It's a very like if you like the New York hardcore scene, they're they're one of those bands you get into. But if you don't, it's fairly hard. Let's not talk about that right now. Anyways, see you guys next week with Big D and the Kids Table. Brian, say bye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.